Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be looking at I Love Lucy. I want to thank everyone for their support. It has been great recently, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Watching I Love Lucy very regularly, you spot certain things. Now, throughout my years of covering the show, I have seen this comment every once in a while, but before that, I have noticed this myself. It was something that was pretty blatant to me, and I thought, well, why is this different? It was a huge error in my opinion, and something that we should really focus on. It is in 2 episodes of I Love Lucy. Now, before I get to that blooper, I do want to explain to you, in case that people don't know the layout of the apartments and even the house of the Ricardos. So let's start with number 1. Now, this apartment was seen between seasons 1 and 2 of I Love Lucy. In season 2, they moved to the next apartment, but in this first one, I would call it the brick apartment, the one with the brick wall in the background. That's because there's no window there. There is a brick wall. That's one of the easy ways to differentiate. It's kind of hard when you differentiate the apartments because they're very similar, but if you see it in syndication, they run the episodes out of order, and sometimes it could be confusing. It was for me at first. Then moving on to the end of season 2, all the way to about the middle of season 6, we see the second apartment. Now, this is the one that we see most of the episodes in, and the Ricardos have that giant window in the center. Notice there is no brick background, and this is the apartment that we were talking about in question. Of course, the last place where they lived on the show was the big house in the country, which they moved in season 6. I won't be talking about that, but I just wanted to differentiate between the 3. Now that I've explained that, I want to look at season 4, and this episode is called Lucy Cries Wolf. Now in this one, seeking reassurance that Ricky would rush to her aid in an emergency situation, Lucy quote-unquote cries wolf once too often when she calls him during the rehearsal and claims there's a burglar in their apartment. Now what she does a lot of chaotic things in this episode, but one of the things, she crawls outside that middle window that I was talking about before, and she goes out to the ledge. At this point, the Ricardos are on the 3rd floor of the apartment complex, and you can see that Lucy looks down a couple times, but I just want you to notice how the ledge looks. Essentially, it's very plain. There's only a ledge on the right hand side of the screen, basically just under the window itself. There's nothing else there. There's nothing really fancy around the edging or anything like that. And this is where Lucy hides out for most of the episode until she makes her way back into the apartment. I want to draw the distinction between this one, and remember, this is the same apartment, and an episode in season 6. This episode is called Lucy and Superman. Now in this one, Lucy looks for special entertainment to lure the kids to little Ricky's party when she finds out that another boy's party, that is of course the son of Carolyn and Charlie Appleby, they plan the birthday on the same day for the boys. So what Ricky decides to do and Lucy is to bring over Superman, that is the original Superman, George Reeves, who makes a fantastic appearance in this episode. Now, Lucy again crawls out on the ledge, but this is where we see the big blooper. You can see that the ledge is completely different. We see a lot of nicer etching marble on the outside, or even stone. I don't know what it is exactly, but you can see pigeons, and you can see that the ledge extends all the way to the left. And that's one of the key things here. It extends all the way to the left to an empty apartment next to the Ricardos. Now this is where Lucy dresses up as quote-unquote Superman, and she makes her way out of that apartment onto the ledge, hoping to come in and surprise the kids, but when she notices that Superman's in there, she just stays outside. Now she gets stuck. She gets her cape stuck on a pipe out there. You might ask me, well, why is there this big difference? Well, there could be different opinions, different answers for this. I may talk about them in just a little bit, but I do want to note the difference here. Now, some of the reasons why it may be different, number 1, has to do with reruns. There were no thoughts of reruns at the time, so it's like, who will notice something from episode 4 and then compare it to episode 6? They didn't think anyone would watch the episodes over and over again like we have the luxury to have. And so with no attention or care to that detail, they just decided to make the ledge suitable for the script, which called Lucy to walk all the way around. They just made it for the story. It's one of the continuity things, but it is a pretty funny blooper. If we submit ourselves to the story, it makes absolutely no sense unless we think about Fred maybe making some upgrades to the outside of the apartment complex, maybe even adding on a larger ledge and even connecting the two apartments through that ledge and adding those little updates, I guess it could make sense, but that's something that hopefully you guys and gals will enjoy. So next time you take a look at the Lucy and Superman and the Lucy Cries Wolf episode, compare the ledges for yourself. It's really fun to look at, and it's part of the things I like to do. Watch the show and show you interesting little tidbits like this. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Those are the two most important things you can do to help this channel grow and to let me know that you want to see more content. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. I hope you're staying positive. I hope you're always improving yourself, as I always suggest at the end of every episode. But most importantly, be hopeful.